Hey everyone, how you doing? This is John at Hookers Fishing Lake in Pattaya, Thailand. It's been a good 10 months since we've been open. COVID is with everywhere in the world, has wreaked havoc here, but we've got some exciting news to share with you, our customers, our friends, and hopefully some new customers. So stick around and see what the news is and catch up on what's been happening here over the last 10 to 12 months. So, as we said earlier, got some good news. We've been closed for around about 10 months now because of COVID, and on and off for about 18 months. But we've taken the decision to reopen again next month, and we'll be reopening on the 17th of July. So we'll be posting on our Facebook page the new pricing that we've got. But if people want to start making bookings now, they're free to do so. You can email us at hookers.pattaya@outlook.com. Please don't message us through the Facebook page. We don't use that for messages or for taking bookings. Or you can contact us through Line if you have the Line app installed on your phone, and we'll be happy to take bookings in advance for the 17th. It's been pretty difficult the last 10 months or so. We've managed to keep things ticking over at the lake. We've had people living here. We've been feeding the fish continuously as we would normally have done, and still carrying out maintenance. You know, things still have to be done. The fish have to be looked after. We have to make sure the oxygen's still working. So everything's still looking good. You can see it's looking absolutely gorgeous. We've had a good dosing of rain so far this year. This time last year, if you have a look at some of the pictures on our Facebook page, you'll notice that, for example, over in the VIP swim over there with the wood across the front, this time last year you could see the sand in front of it, and so far this year probably we've had we're up 30 to 40 centimeters on that level, so that all looks good, and consequently the swim's looking very nice. Everything is very green, and we're just really looking forward to having people back here fishing again. So picking up on what I was saying earlier, we've had quite a few inquiries from people. I mean, we have resident expats here in Pattaya who are all keen to fish and have been asking us when we're going to reopen. We've also got quite a few people based in the UK and elsewhere overseas who have been waiting to see how the Phuket sandbox plan was going to work. Originally it was going to be 7 days, it's now 14. But nevertheless, there are people that are going to come and do that. Maybe it's more preferable being there than in an alternative state quarantine hotel in Bangkok. The bottom line is we'll have some customers coming. We've got some friends coming, and we're going to take the opportunity to get open and have people fishing here again. So as you can see, the lake's looking very, very nice. And the first thing you'll notice is that we've taken out all of the water hyacinth. Those of you that have fished here before will remember that we used to have little bays of hyacinth in between the swims around the lake. We decided last year to take that out when it looked like we were going to be closed for some time, just because from a maintenance perspective you're constantly every 3 to 4 weeks having to remove it, take out the dead stuff. It grows very, very quickly, and really it was just the benefits were outweighing the negatives with it. So we've taken all of that out, and it's looking really very nice. But as with opening generally, there's an awful lot of things that we need to do. We need to service our aeration system and compressor that we've got. It's been running for 3 years now. The fish, not having been fed consistently by anglers in addition to what we would normally feed, have started to behave differently in terms of the routes that they take. They're definitely less scared of people. By that I mean, you know, we can turn up some days to come and feed and we'll have 3 or 4 arapaima, 4 or 5 alligator gar right in close at the bank waiting for us to go out in the boat. That never used to happen. So that's something that we need to fix by getting back into a regular feeding routine for them with customers coming. We also need to prepare the quarantine tank that we have over there for any of our sick fish. Overall, in the past 10 months, we've been very lucky. We haven't lost a single fish in all of that time. Not that I would necessarily expect to, but you would normally expect to have some natural deaths occur, but we've not had any at all. So that's been very positive and very good for us. We'll also need to get inside the container and get all the rods and reels out. They've not been used in anger now for a good long time. So the rods will all need cleaning down. All of the rings on the rods will need to be checked, given that we use braid. Make sure that there's no nicks or cuts in them. The reels, we'll be changing out all of the drag washers. We'll be carrying out full service on all of the reels, and we'll probably do a few videos on all of that process. It'll be quite interesting for a few people. The experts out there will probably already know, but generally just some general maintenance tips: how to take the reels apart, how to change out the drag washers, replace them with, say, something like Carbon-Tex, the best materials to use for cleaning your rods, why it's important to clean your rods. We'll probably also do something around the compressor and the aeration system when we get around to cleaning and maintaining and servicing it, and focus maybe a little bit on water quality and why we have the system, and things like dissolved oxygen levels, why they're important, why you need an aeration system, how these things affect the fish, climate, rainfall, and the various parameters that the fish need in order to thrive and be healthy. One of the other jobs that we need to take care of is moving some fish. We've got a couple of small gar in the lake here, along with 3 bigger ones. They were gifted to us. They were in pretty bad condition, and we took them, put them in here. They've thrived really well. But what we've noticed over this past 10 months is that the gar in particular are eating pretty much everything. And when we get to opening time, we need to be conscious that, you know, customers coming here and wanting to catch, let's say on their predator rods, looking for the arapaima, are probably going to be getting those gar snapping their lines, biting through their lines and causing general havoc. So we're going to get rid of a couple of those 2 smaller gar. We're going to move them into the stock pond that we've got. I'll take you over there and we can have a look in a minute. And in addition to that, we think we might have a couple of baby arapaima in here as well, that appeared towards the back end of last year. So we need to try and catch them and get them moved out of this big lake and into the stock pond, ideally before we have customers in here fishing. Plus just generally we need to have a fish of the lake ourselves just to see what's going on with the fish, what baits they're reacting to, has anything changed in the behavior, the routes, the areas where traditionally we'll have fished for them. So again, we'll do a couple of videos around that. It'll be interesting for people to see us take a couple of the fish out, measure them, weigh them and get them transferred. We'll just walk over here to our stock pond. I think a lot of people that come here to Hookers don't necessarily get to see it. And at the moment here in the stock pond, we've got a couple of arapaima that have been in there now for coming up for 2 years. We caught them and measured them last year, yeah, about 14 months ago, and they were just over a metre long at that stage. So what we're planning or hoping is that if the two fish in the small stock pond here are big enough, we'll put them into the big lake and take the two smaller babies that have appeared and put them in the stock pond to grow. So going back to opening next month on the 17th, there'll be a few small changes. We will be changing the menu in the restaurant. We won't be offering quite as wide a range as we were before until we know that we've got a steady stream of customers again. And similarly with the guides, people that have fished here before will know that the guides pretty much stayed with people who were fishing all day. If people wanted them to help them out, they would. If there were more proficient anglers, then they were happy to just let the guides be on hand to net the fish. What we'll be doing, just because of the difficulties in us getting hold of our old staff, getting them to come back, everybody moved because of COVID, people have taken new jobs. We have one of our staff coming back with a couple of his family members. So what we'll be doing is we'll still have the guides on hand, but they won't be as proactive as they used to be in terms of helping people all day. They'll be happy, we'll be happy to show you what you need to be doing so that you have the knowledge in order to get a good day's fishing, but they won't be sitting next to you or behind you all day long. Really the purpose will be for them to act more as kind of traditional gillies, if you like, by netting the fish. So going back to what we were saying earlier, on the pricing side of things, we will be offering a full day's fishing, 8:30 in the morning until 6 o'clock in the evening, for a price of 2,800 baht. We'll be doing a half-day ticket from 1:30 until 6, which will cost 1,800 baht. And it will be the same deal as we had before. You'll have a minimum of 3 rods, 2 will be set up for carp and 1 predator rod. We'll try, as we always did, to sneak in an extra rod or 2 depending on numbers and how many people are here and general proficiency of the people that are fishing. But you're guaranteed a minimum of 3 rods. That also includes all of your bait, so you'll be getting a generous supply of lum, we'll have some pellet, you have several dead baits, so everything you need is included in the price, your rod, reel, equipment, everything. You don't need to be bringing anything else, although you're free to do so if you wish to. And we'll also be offering an under 16 junior ticket for kids under 16 for full day fishing will be 1,600 baht, and for the half day option 1,200 baht. So I just want to say thank you again to everybody for watching. Please, if you've got any questions or any comments, you can leave them in the comment section down below if you're on the YouTube channel, or please drop us an email, hookers.pattaya@outlook.com, or add us as a line and send us some questions through there. Or again, you can always post on our Facebook page and we'll be happy to answer any questions you've got there. Thank you all again. We hope to see you here at the lake fishing soon, and keep an eye out for the various videos that I mentioned earlier. We'll try and get something up every few days just to get you interested, let you see a little bit about, you know, behind the scenes of what goes on at a fishery. I think it's something sometimes people don't really get to see too much of, and will certainly increase people's knowledge and appreciation, I think, of the hard work that's involved in running and maintaining a fishery like this. So anyway, thanks very much again. Take care, be safe everybody, and we'll hope to see you again soon.